All right, so it's been a while since we've put together something like this. I know I haven't released an edited video. You've probably seen me on live streams and such. But I wanted to talk about my experience as a real estate investor over the past 2 years. I see a lot of things online that misrepresent what it's like, both positively and negatively. And I'd like for you to learn from my experience, so maybe it's easier for you to get started. When I was first getting started, I felt like it was really important to get a home run. Well, nowadays, since I've been doing this for a couple years, I've learned that it's better when you're first getting started to just get that one base hit to prove the concept, so you can continue to buy more properties after that, and you can be more picky. But it's more important on this first one that, one, you are still getting a positive cash on cash return. I'm not saying buy something that has a bad cash on cash return, but I'm telling you it's more important that you get started than how big the return is on the first property, because in the grand scheme of things, the first property is not going to matter all that much. The second thing I learned, and this is actually something that I recently learned, is I don't think it's a really good idea to live on your cash flow just because you can right away. And what I mean by that is once your cash flow hits your expenses and you look at this and say, oh, well, now I don't really need to work anymore, or I can focus on doing something else because all of my base expenses are covered. Well, the issue there is you might have bigger expenses that come up. And I've been living through this firsthand because I left what I was doing and I've been focusing on real estate full time, but then also a few other projects that I'm working on. And luckily a lot of those, I'm dedicating active time to, but I've had things come up that if I was only living on my cash flow, I would have ran into problems. I can point to the key problem there being that I left what I was doing when my cash flow met my expenses, not when it was several multiples of my expenses. I think it would have been way easier to do this if my expenses were, say, $4,000 a month, and then I was cash flowing $16,000 a month. And when I say cash flowing, I mean net cash flow. That means you're factoring in your maintenance, your vacancy, and your property management. Whether you're using a property manager or not, you should still be factoring in property management, because that is going to be a real expense somebody else is going to factor for when they buy your property from you, which means that on the purchase, you might overpay if you're not factoring for that. The third thing I learned is that you should treat it like more of a long game. I was trying to sprint through building a portfolio, and while you can do that, there are several problems that can come up when doing that, such as leveraging too much debt too quickly. That can become a problem, or just not enjoying the process as you're going through building your portfolio. I think it's more important that, one, you build the portfolio in a safe, stable manner, and you focus on the long term. And by long term, it could be a 5 to 10 year goal. It doesn't have to be a 30-year goal like building a 401k, but you should still focus on a longer term thing over saying that you want to quit your job in 2 to 3 years by buying a bunch of rental properties. I just find it more safe and feasible to focus on doing that in 5 to 10 years instead of a 1, 2 or 3 year period. The next thing that I learned was document the journey. So over the course of buying the properties that I bought and doing all the rehabs, I took some pictures, but I didn't take as many videos and really document the process as we're going. And I wish I did a lot more of that, because it's really cool to be able to look back and see all of the things that you did accomplish just when you're, looking back through your portfolio and all the work that you had been doing. But then also you're able to share it with other people, because inevitably you're going to learn something unique to you that could help somebody else along their journey. And whether you want to post this on YouTube or post this on Instagram or any of the other social media platforms, that doesn't necessarily matter. I think it's just more important that you document, even if you're just going to show your kids at some point, like how you built your portfolio, different stages of you building your portfolio, painting your apartments or painting your houses and laying the LVP flooring and everything like that. I think that's a really nice thing for you to do for yourself. Just as somebody looking back, that I didn't do that as much as I think I should have. And the last thing I learned, your network is going to be the people that build your portfolio with you. Now, they might not be partnering with you on properties, but by building a really strong network in your local community, you're able to find people to do deals with, whether that's you finding a property to sell them or helping them buy a property. They're able to pay you some sort of commission on that, or they know you as the go-to person for a specific type of property. For example, I have a lot of the people in the Indianapolis area that know me as the guy that wants to buy a 5 to 30 unit apartment building, and I'm willing to do so outside of the 465 loop. And a bonus one, I want to say try to do your first few deals by yourself if you can. I think it's very important to learn this process without having to learn how partnerships work at the same time. You'll have plenty of opportunities down the road to do partnerships, but I think on the first few it makes the most sense to just put your money into it, learn all of the different components of buying rental properties, renovating them, placing tenants, and so on, or outsource that part to a property manager if that's not something you ever want to deal with. But I think you should learn every aspect of that before you bring other people's money into the equation. And that's all for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.